It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host Ernie Johnson, joined by the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Denver Nuggets. And when you take a look at the Nuggets, these guys are in the doldrums, a real tough stretch with only one win to show for their last 9 games. You know, Shaq, one of the most athletic small forwards, one of the, great 3 men in this league, and kind of under the radar to me, Wilson Chandler.
Wilson Chandler, if you combine his explosiveness with his shooting range, Ernie, this kid can give you trouble. And if you close out hard on him, Ernie, he'll throw it down on your head.
He certainly will. We've seen that. Let's go out to Kevin Harlan as they prepare for the tip.
Greetings, everyone, from San Antonio. The Spurs playing host to a Western Conference affair here at the sold-out AT&T Center. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Today's game finds the Nuggets winding down their road trip. A dismal season right now. Only 2 teams below them in the Western Conference.
They're going to have their work cut out for them with a lot of tough games in front of them. It's going to be a challenge.
Well, if they're going to prove they've got what it takes to be a playoff team, this is the time to do it. I mean, they need to show that they can beat these top teams.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Denver, Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. Lawson out there with Foy, and it's Nurkic in at the center filling out the middle. Nuggets on D, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And that game featured one of the least consistent offensive performances you're going to see from them, Clark.
Yeah, no spurt ability on display at all, fellas. I mean, they needed to make a few runs, but it just never was able to happen for them.
And Green gets it to go.
You know, when he's in that tight with that kind of height advantage over the defender, that's going to be a pretty easy play for him.
Danny Green, a nice find by the Spurs as a 3-and-D role player. The Spurs always seem to find those kind of guys. A mid-second round pick was Green. He got waived by the Cavs, spent some time playing abroad. Now he holds the record for 3-pointers made in the finals.
Now here's Parker, following the miss by Kenneth Fareed. Parker kicks to Duncan. On the wing, Green. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And for Danny Green, guys, a quality defender at either wing position. And, Steve, as you like to say, a floor spacer offensively.
That's right. Two-way guys, Kevin. Two-way players. That's what the playoffs are all about. You think about the success Green has had the last couple of seasons, defending star players at one end, knocking down big threes at the other. Wow, what a player he's become.
Now here's Parker. Really had troubles in that loss to Sacramento. Spurs working the ball around now. Duncan, a screen. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Leonard, no luck.
Certainly not the dream start they were hoping for, going 1 for 4 early.
Lawson goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
Oh, he got him. Gorgeous reverse.
If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Parker outside. Passes it to Green. Back to Parker. Parker right side. They set the pick. Jumper off the screen, and the jumper is on the mark. Parker's got his first 2 points of the night.
I mean, Tony Parker's just showing us how it's done with that beautiful shot of his.
For Denver, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. Foy dishes to Lawson. Foy, the pass to Chandler. Drills it from outside. Spurs trail by 3. Parker outside. Pass to Green. And Randy Foy gets the whistle that time. Parker against Lawson. Duncan with a screen on Lawson. And the wide open shot from Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, and Voigt kicks to Lawson. A three ball, and it's Randy Foye with the three. Foy's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. San Antonio trailing here. Parker outside. Green with a screen for Parker. Screen by Duncan. 6 to shoot. Denver grabs the miss. Nurkic has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, Denver's head coach had a few moments to share with me. I asked him what they needed to key in on defensively, and he said, well, we've got to limit penetration by Tony Parker. He's really the, quote, head of the snake, and with his floater, he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to score. It's crucial that we do our best to keep him outside the lane. Guys, that's no easy assignment. We'll see how much success they have defensively.
And thank you, Doris. Here's Foye. Following the bucket by the Spurs. Here's Chandler. Misses off the left iron.
You know, the Spurs culture, really an example for the entire league, and you have to give a lot of credit to head coach Greg Popovich. He demands accountability and execution while at the same time balancing that with a really great sense of humor and an authentic interest in his players as people, and that goes a long way. And he's got a great leadership team around him, his owner and the general manager. They've been a terrific trio for almost 2 decades now.
And Lawson, here we go. Lawson can't get that one to fall.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. A good job getting it started before the defense can get itself set.
The Nuggets trail by 3. Chandler with the screen on Parker. Pass to Nurkic. There's the triple. And it's Randy Foye with the 3. Foye's.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And here is Parker, averaging 14 points a game. He feeds it to Green. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Denver needs to do a better job guarding against Green.
Already up to 9 points, and he's put 1 3-pointer on the board.
Yeah, he's got to take his time behind the arc.
The Spurs shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
At the line for 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, Denver in the post-Melo years has been a collection of good players, but you always have to wonder if they'll have a low ceiling because this team does not have a so-called superstar.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Nurkic, and Harris subbed in for Randy Foye. And so he hits both. At that point, Denver has done well without what most would call a superstar, but obviously that takes its toll come playoff time.
It really does. I mean, you need somebody that you can really rely on as your go-to guy, the one who gets it done for you in the clutch. And they haven't quite established that player, and yet they're still competitive.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets. Last time they met was in Denver.
Yeah, that was very sloppy in that first matchup. It was a poorly played game, and it turned into a blowout because they continued to turn the ball over and they didn't execute offensively.
Denver's gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. And it's hard to forget what Steve mentioned. The turnovers really piled up last time.
Yep, you know, Steve's always on top of it, as are you. You can bet their coach was on top of it as well and didn't let them forget about that. It was an embarrassing statistic and an embarrassing loss.
Now here's Parker. Wilson Chandler unable to get his shot to go. There's the dish to Green. Lawson on the double team. Green passes the splitter. 4 on the clock. That's a 2 from Parker. Here's Leonard. Goes up again. Duncan dishes to Leonard. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. Leonard's got his second bucket of the night.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but their cutting, their movement together as a unit that's led to that.
Now here's Fareed. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota. Leonard kicks to Green. Back to Leonard. Feeds to Parker. Duncan outside. The pass to Parker. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. And the Spurs lead by 6.
Boy, he's looked great so far. Offensively, looks like he's brought his A game.
Nugget shooting in this first quarter, around 38%. They're looking a bit creaky out there. Lawson the pass to Fareed. And the shot is good. Fareed's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
Well, that's the key to basketball. Get the ball inside, into the paint, either with a pass or with penetration.
Now, here's Green. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
Yeah, not to mention 4 big steals on the night. He's getting it done at both ends of the floor.
Here's Parker. 4-point game. Kicks to Splitter. Banked in off the glass.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
And here are the Nuggets now. Lawson right side. He dishes it to Chandler. Back to Lawson. Again, the Nuggets score.
Simply a fantastic shot. Going top speed, but he still cashes in the run.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
And the glaring factor for me in that loss was the poor rebound. I mean, they got destroyed on the glass.
Yeah, they were outworked. I mean, it's plain and simple. To rebound the ball, you got to work. You got to do your work early. You got to be physical. You got to go after the ball, and you can't give up. And they just didn't work hard enough.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Here's Mills. Ty Lawson making his last shot. They set the pick. And Ginobili. Here we go. Shot is no good.
Well, I tell you, that was double duty right there. He influenced the shot and then got back and cleaned the glass.
Manu Ginobili in the final year of his 2-year contract extension with the Spurs, Steve, and some speculate that he may retire after this season.
Yeah, fantastic career for Ginobili. You know what I think, Kevin? I think Ginobili, Parker, Duncan, and Popovich should all just walk away right now. Just go away together, and this has nothing to do with me coaching the Warriors. Nothing to do with me at all. This is about them. They've earned this. Walk away now, guys. Just leave.
I hear some admiration, but I also hear some sarcasm in there, too, for my partner there. And Ginobili certainly will go down in history as one of the all-time great 6 men, alongside the likes of John Havlicek or Kevin McHale earlier in his career. I'm throwing out some old-school names for you young bucks.
And Harris drops them both.
And Manu, a 2-time All-Star, won 3 NBA titles with the Spurs. An outstanding career for a player drafted 57th back in 1999.
Here's Mills. 8 points his last outing. Dishes it to Bellinelli. Here's the screen. Here's Mills. shoots from 12. Bellinelli gets the bucket.
You know, he was smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective in